we got some rather unfortunate news regarding the Olympics. So Roger Federer, he has decided to withdraw from the Tokyo Olympics due to his knee. And we did talk about we did talk about his knee. We will post that in the description down below because he did withdraw from another tournament. So we will post that in the description below. We did a video on that. But yeah, I do have a quote right here, Nate, from Roger Federer, and I will read it. He said, and I quote, "I unfortunately experienced a setback with my knee and have accepted that I must withdraw from the Tokyo Olympic Games." And he also said, "I am greatly disappointed as it has been an honor and a highlight of my career each time I have represented Switzerland." He said, "I have already begun rehabilitation in hopes of returning to the tour later this summer." And yeah, Nate, I mean, obviously, I don't gotta say a lot about Roger Federer. We all know he's a GOAT, he's a future GOAT. In Wimbledon, he was beaten in the quarterfinals by Hubert Hurkacz. He was beaten 6-3, 7-6, and then 6-0. And yeah, he's going to be turning 40 on August 8th. And he has said before Wimbledon that he would make a decision about going to the Summer Games after the Grand Slam tournament ended. And obviously he has made this decision now. And a little bit on his past in the Olympics. He won a gold medal alongside Stan Wawrinka in doubles at the 2008 Beijing Olympics and the silver in the singles at the 2012 London Olympics, losing to Britain's Andy Murray in the finals at the All England Club. And again, Roger Federer, he sat out in 2016 at the Rio Olympics because of problems with his left knee. Except this time, he has underwent 2 operations on his right knee. So it is the opposite knee that's getting him now. He was sidelined for over 12 months. He arrived at Wimbledon. He had played a total of 8 matches this season. And yeah, Nate, obviously, this is something very, very sad. And again, Serena Williams, Rafael Nadal, Simona Halep, Dominique Thiem, and Nick Kyrgios are among the players who will not be competing for medals, which is very, very unfortunate because all those players are very, very entertaining. So yeah, Nate, one name I don't see on here is Novak Djokovic, which means he's probably going to be the guy. That'd be my favorite. That'd be the favorite for me to win the Olympics right there is Novak Djokovic. But we'll see what happens, But overall, Nate, let me start off with this article first. But before I do, the source of this article is ESPN. First of all, I'm wishing Roger Federer a speedy recovery, full recovery at that. Yeah, we talked about his knee. We did. We talked about his knee and how it was affecting him. I believe he withdrew from the French Open. I believe he withdrew from the French Open before it started. I believe so, because he felt like he wanted to get ready for Wimbledon, and he did. And unfortunately, it wasn't the performance that he had, and I feel like his knee was definitely a part of that. It was probably something that was affecting him. But overall, I mean, you gotta take the smart moves, you really do. And it is going to be really, really unfortunate that we're not going to be able to see Roger Federer at these Olympics. The last Olympics he has performed at is 2012, which get this, Nate, it's been 9 years since the 2012 Olympics. And think about the 2012 Olympics. Think about how different it was. Usain Bolt was dominating. Michael Phelps was dominating, and those guys don't even play no more. It seems like time really did fly by within a blink of an eye, within a snap of a finger. And it really is going to be unfortunate not be able to see Roger Federer at these Olympics, But if that means Roger Federer can compete for a very, very long time, then so be it. I don't believe, somebody can look this up for me, but I don't believe that the Olympics count as a Grand Slam title. I don't believe it does because it's not part of the tour. But overall, I mean, not being able to see Serena Williams, Rafael Nadal, Simona Halep, Nick Kyrgios, Dominique Thiem, not be able to see those guys, it's going to be really unfortunate. And the only one out of all of them that is still in it, Nate, is Djokovic. And I got to give Djokovic a lot of respect too. I mean, I'm wishing him the best of luck. Again, I'm wishing the best of luck in the Olympics as well as everybody else. But overall, Nate, it's going to be really unfortunate not seeing Roger Federer at these Olympics. It really is, because he is one of the best tennis players you could possibly see. But like I said, with Rafael Nadal, with Serena Williams, with Naomi Osaka. Well, Naomi Osaka is a different story. That's a different reason. But if it means them being able to play for a longer time, then I'm all for it, So with that being said, I wish Roger Federer the best of luck. I hope that his knee goes back to 100%. I hope that he comes back better than ever. But again, before I end it though, so age is starting to catch up with him as well, definitely catching up to Roger Federer. But overall, I still do wish him a full and speedy recovery. I hope he can come back better than ever because he is a GOAT.
Yeah, best of luck to Roger Federer moving forward. I wish for him a speedy recovery. Yeah, that was something I was going to mention, Mario. And the reason why I was going to mention that is because obviously age is a factor, and as you get older, the more prone to injury you become. You know what I mean? And that's something you just gotta watch. That's why athletes retire as early as they do, because of all the hits they endure, all the pain they endure, all these types of things. And they get millions of dollars, so they can retire anyway. It doesn't matter. But
Right. But a lot of them, especially, hang on a
it's
second, a
more
lot
about
of
their
them,
health.
right. A lot of them, especially somebody like Roger Federer, who has been an absolute GOAT at what he does. He doesn't want, the money doesn't mean nothing to him at this point. He just wants to continue playing to be, the best and to win as much as he possibly can.
Right. Right, exactly. I mentioned money because you need money to support your family.
Right.
But it's
He
more
has that. He got tons of it.
when it comes to age, it has more to do with your health, especially with the knees. Like my dad played a little bit of professional baseball for a time, but he ended up retiring in his late 20s because of his knees. So like knee injuries, like you need your knees no matter what. I mean, you need everything on your body no matter what, but the knees especially. I just endured. I just had a knee injury for the last year. I'm coming back from that. I can only imagine what it's going to do to me in the next 20 years. And I'm only 20, and he's 20 years older than me. So I can only imagine what's going to happen to me when I turn 40. You know what I mean? So, especially when you hit age, and especially when you get injured young, it definitely hits you. Especially when you get older and older and older, like it hits you hard. It really does. Even if you're fully healthy from it, even sometimes it'll just come right back at you. And I hope that anybody that suffers injuries, I hope that doesn't happen to you guys, but sometimes it just does. There's really nothing you can do about it but do what the doctor tells you and just move forward. But overall, again, I'm not, as for the future of Roger Federer, Mario, I'm not sure what's going to happen, because again, like you mentioned, age has a factor of it. Obviously we talked about his left knee. Now it's his right knee. So that's another concern too. Not only was one knee hit, but the other one.
Right. Well, the left knee was back in back when he withdrew from the Rio Olympics. So like
Well,
that's like
right,
another
but
4 or 5 years ago.
but that could still have an effect on you,
Right. But
that really can.
I don't think as of now it does. I think it's just the right knee. I think the left knee
Right.
is probably fully healed from then.
Well, yeah, but I still look at it, and even though I'm not as concerned as it with the right knee, obviously because that's the one that got hurt, it's still a concern because that was a knee that got injured. So now both of your knees are injured or were injured at some point or another. Obviously, they're not going to perform at the level you expect them to anymore. That's just how it is, with injuries. That's another thing people got to think about. Yeah, like I get injured, I'm going back to 100%. When they say 100%, they don't mean what you were pre-injury. And that's the part that really sucks about it, getting hit with injuries that
I don't know.
No, it's with me, it's kind of the same thing because I can still run, like I can still play ball and all that kind of stuff, but like I don't have that kind of same energy in it as much as I used to. It's definitely true. It definitely is true.
I don't know. I think there are occasions, and there has been many in for example, of where like they've came back even better from it. Like for instance, like you look at like Adrian Peterson after he torn his ACL and MCL, he came back, almost broke the single season record. You look at like Zach LaVine, and he tore his ACL, ended up going to the Bulls and now an All-Star.
Right, but you look behind the scenes, and that's the part that you don't really see a lot. Like they could be sitting down, like, "Oh man, this is sore," like things like that. Like it's all about what you see. It's all about what happens behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like they could be holding on to that, like, "Ugh, it's sore as hell." Like
I think it's all about every person individually. I think I think there are injuries where you can 100% actually fully heal. You got to treat it the right way. You got to rest. Like Tom Brady, that's a perfect example right there. Like he tore his ACL in 2011. That don't even look like it's affecting him anymore.
Yeah.
So like now again, like you said,
most of the time, that's definitely gonna hurt you moving forward.
Right. I just don't think as of now it's like, I mean, maybe possibly as of now, I just don't think I just don't think his left knee has anything to do with it. I just think it's this
No,
right
absolutely.
knee.
But it's definitely something to keep in mind too,
Yeah.
But
right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I understand what you're saying. Like if he could easily run and like obviously, like do something to his left knee and then ends up putting like he could do that.
I hope that doesn't happen, of course.
I hope neither, like knock on wood, it doesn't, but that could, you know what I'm saying? I understand an example, like in an instance, like if that were to happen, then that would obviously affect your left knee even more because then you've already had an injury to it before. But as of now, I just don't think it's the left knee being a factor. I think it's this right knee really hurting him. And he tried to come back to me. He took off French. He decided to withdraw from the French Open. He ended up trying to see if he can come back for Wimbledon. And overall, like I mean, it just didn't end well for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really all the best I have to say. But with that being said, going to Roger Federer into his future again, I'm not sure what the future holds for him, but whatever it does, I wish him the best of luck. I wish for him a speedy recovery. And yeah, to everybody with injuries, best of luck to you guys and best of luck to you in the future.